What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. We are back on some MX bikes and we've had a new update to the factory pack. We have got a brand new YZ125 and YZ144, and I'm going to be using the 144 in this video because, let's be honest, who wants to go with the smaller powered of the bikes. This is a model that I believe comes from Sim. I do recognise it. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same bike model I used in one of those Elim races, the Dr. Elim races. I had a skin on it. Very nice bike, very good looking bike. And I'm going to just see how she goes, see how she feels, see how fast it is as well. Because I know the current 125s, they are on the slower side, which it makes sense being such a small bike. But I do like hopping on and riding a fast two-stroke every now and then. The track that I'm on is Sipu 2016. It's a track that I really do enjoy. I've used it a number of times in public lobby streams, usually on two strokes as well. I just feel like it's a very small scaled map. It's very one-to-one, but I think that usually lends itself perfectly for the two strokes. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I feel like it's a really good track to kind of compare the standard OEMs to this one. The sole reason being is I've used a fair few of them on this track itself, and I feel like I have a good idea of how they'll compare. I think the biggest thing that I'm interested to see on this bike right now is how it pulls in various gears. Now, it's obviously a case in real life of, especially on a 125, you've got to be in the right gear all the time, otherwise you're just going to be bogging and not moving anywhere. I'm interested to see how this bike handles in that regards. I wonder if it's going to be a little bit easier or if it's going to have, like, just struggle in a couple of gears. We'll see how it goes. I don't think there's anywhere particularly around this track where I should be getting up into the super high gears, like 4th or 5th. I usually think gear 3 is usually about where we chill out, but we'll see how it goes nonetheless. We'll see how she rides, and a little update after mine and Charlie's drinking shenanigans in the last video. I'm not too bad. I didn't sleep nearly at all. I saw a few people saying that I was going to sleep for like 15 hours. I think I slept for about 3, and then earlier during today I've had like another 2-hour nap, so I'm running off about 5 hours. But I woke up not feeling too bad. And I also made sure to get some carbs in me, and I also had a Mackey's for dinner today. So it should all be absorbed. It's all gone. It's all out. Well, it's not out of the system. It's still there a little bit. But I feel good. I feel all right. And there was a lot of good feedback on that. And I'm surprised I didn't make any major issues while editing that video, because I edited it, English, as soon as it was done. As soon as I was done recording it. Charlie went off to, we didn't play any Red Dead in the end, like I said we would in the video. Charlie went off to bed, and I sat there and edited it, and then stayed up. I can't remember, what was I doing? I think I might have been playing some Roblox again, if I'm honest. How sad's that? Staying up, getting drunk, and then playing Roblox at 27 years old, Jesus Christ. But it was very fun. I don't think we're going to do it again. I know Charlie messaged me saying we're not doing it next week, even though that's not what Drunk Charlie said at all. Might have to try and take advantage of him next time. He's under the influence. But I am very proud to say that I am not the one out of 2 people that threw up. So very happy days. And I'm sure, as you could have gathered through that video, I don't drink very often. I never really see much of a point to it. But I thought, you know what, as a one-off, why not give it a go? And it turned the real-life motocross into just a bit more of a fun game. And it always seemed to come in waves where... So how it works, if you're unaware, is any time during the Thunder Valley broadcast, if they said the words altitude, elevation, or miles, because they always say like a mile high city, then we'd have to have a drink. And it would come in waves where they wouldn't say anything for ages, and then obviously as they go away to commercial and come back, and they'll be like, oh, and welcome back to the Mile High City, we're sat at X amount of elevation. So it would always come in like 2s rather than just the 1 every now and then. But it was funny. It definitely made it more interesting. And we was having a debate on doing it next week, and either when they say the word high point, which I'm sure they'll probably say quite a lot, but one that I thought would be quite good is if when they say the word Deegan. Charlie threw out there that we'd obviously had lots of downtime during the 450s, but I don't mind that. I feel like you need that little bit of downtime to recover. We'll see. I doubt it's something that I'll do all the time, but yeah, massive thank you. Like, everyone seemed really like happy with the video. I saw a lot of people saying that it's like one of the best videos I've ever had on the channel, definitely one of the most fun ones. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoy us just being a pair of goobers, being a bit silly. And believe me, there was some stuff that didn't make it into that video that came out of our mouths that is absolutely horrendous. So You won't be catching us doing that all the time. And I want to like throw Mr. Smigdamp under the bus, and Charlie as well, actually, because he was like liable for this too. They've said to me to go live. As could you imagine how quickly I'd get cancelled going live whilst having that much to drink? It's ridiculous. But yeah, BWs. And for those of you, by the way, I know there's all this controversy about is it Bud? I think it's Bud Light that we have this issue at the moment where like certain person and now a bunch of Americans don't want to drink it anymore. I'm not here for that. Like, it was a thumbnail, okay? Like, I wasn't even drinking beer. I was literally sitting there drinking Disaronno. Well, I was drinking Spirit. It doesn't. I don't care. People saying, "Oh, you're a pussy for drinking Bud Light." So I'm not drinking it. It's a thumbnail, bro. Chill. It's not that deep. Just let me sit and have a drink and have a fun time on some bikes. And it definitely did make the game more fun. But I hope that I didn't kind of miss out on the point of the track that I was covering at all. So the track itself, just to reiterate, is an arena cross track created by Hurren. It is round number 1 of a 5-part series, I guess you could call it, that he's creating. And all of the kind of money that goes into that track, or what he gets paid from the shop from all the purchases, all of that is going to support real life privateer riders that take part in the AMA season. And if you want to keep up to date on who's being supported and how it's helping, then follow Hurren on Instagram. I will make sure to get his Instagram link at the bottom of this video, because I can never remember off the top of my head if it's Hurren MX or Hurren Visuals, so I'll double check that for you. But I think it's a really good job that Hurren's doing there, and if I missed the point in that video where I was otherwise occupied, I do apologise. Hopefully that's done enough justice, and I think it's a really cool thing that he's doing, helping to support some real life riders. And especially what really opened my eyes at Thunder Valley, seeing someone like Tyre Masterpool, who really I think has been done dirty on the factory ride side of things. You know, he came out at Redbud that one year, got the whole shot through his hand up, was leading the bunch on the Star bike, then gets injured and he's just left with nothing. So to see him come out and do so well on what is basically, I would imagine, almost a stock Cowie, I can't imagine they get much support, to be honest. And although it's a fairly unstacked 450 class, it was still really impressive to watch, seeing him catch up and pass legitimate pro, like, quote-unquote pro riders. So massive shout out to Ty, definitely does deserve that, and it's more reason why I feel like what Hurren's doing is a really, really good thing, supporting the privateers that just need a little bit of help, I suppose. I feel like there's so many riders in the field that, given the same factory support as the big boys do, could literally be getting on the podium or getting top 5s. It's insane. I'm not the biggest lover of 450s so far this year, just with the lack of competition. I do hope that Jet goes 22-0. I think that would just be quite cool. Just one of them things that you'd love him to tick off. I hope that he keeps up the good work. But I'm really enjoying the 250s. I feel like the 250 racing has been super good. Especially we had that little back and forth between Hunter and Deegan for a few laps, which was quite cool. And I feel like Hunter really did put Deegan in his place after. I was like, you know what, I've had enough of you weaving, looking behind, crossing over the track. Let me just park you in this rut right here. And then he carried on with his day. And I feel like that's true championship material. The racing's really good. That crash at the start of 250 Moto 1 was actually insane, and I actually I made a bit of a noise, like pretending to throw up when they crashed, because I saw Guillaume Ferres stand up and his arm was basically backwards. I was like, that's not meant to bend that way, that's a bit gross. And then yeah, I don't know what the final result is of that injury. I don't keep up to date on the gram or anything, but I hope he's not out for too long, because he's someone that was having a really good season as well. But yeah, now I feel like we're all up to date. We can actually talk about the bike so far, and the bike seems plenty powerful. I know obviously it's not a standard 125, it is a 144. I didn't even know you could big bore a YZ125 up to 144 these days, but shows how little knowledge I have. And so that suspension seems quite good. One thing I have noticed is if I over jump a little bit, the front end does seem quite springy. It does want to like bounce itself back up. But I imagine there's a very, very fine balance between getting the bike to track through the bumps properly, like they should do, and kind of overdoing it and getting some weird physics in the meantime. So yeah, in terms of suspension, other than that one little thing, it feels fine. I've noticed it might just be the track, bearing in mind this is quite a difficult track. Some of the ruts are fairly like deep and tight, which the game's handling doesn't always cope with very well. Notice the occasional front tuck. The front wants to just like tuck on me every now and then, but no worse than what I've ridden in the past, so it's not like it's like a game changer. It's not like it completely ruins the bike altogether. It certainly is some good fun, and I feel like the more... Oh, I've just realised that we have the cummy wheels. We've got the white wheels. I think that's because it's Patusta's... Is it Patusta or is it Pista? Because I know it's like... It's actually P-I-I-S-T-A, but then he puts P2S2A. I never know if it's Pista or Patusta. I'm sure someone can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But I know this, that apparently if you use any bike with his wheels that aren't the OEM bikes, then you get this this sort of cummy wheel effect going on. So there's a reason for that. I think the bike handles well. It's certainly pretty good fun. I would have generally loaded it up into like a lobby for us, like thrown my server up and got a bunch of you in to ride it. But I'm sure we can do that in the near future. I just right now it's that time of the year in the UK where we have 3 or 4 days where it's actually hot, but like disgustingly hot. And I've been saying most of the day the window closed because I have some very noisy neighbours. They are outside in the garden shouting, having music and such. They're just doing their own thing. They're just enjoying the weather. You can't hate on them for it. But I also don't want to listen to it at the same time. So I've had the window closed and I've just had a fan pointed directly to me. Basically, just recirculating the very hot air that's coming out of my PC. I feel like I have recreated a sauna. And the worst thing is the chair that I'm in. It's like your normal office chair, you know, like quote-unquote gamer-style chair. But it's a leathery material. So as you can imagine, sometimes when I stand up, the chair wants to come with me, where it's attached itself to the back of my thighs and my arse. But I'm coping. I'm surviving. It's not the end of the world. It's quite nice getting some decent weather in the UK every now and then, to be fair. Although I can't imagine it really done Charlie many favours being as severely hungover as he was, with it being so hot as well. But I feel like I'm alright. I was very lucky that I was having Disaronno throughout that evening, and that's only 28%, whereas what he was drinking was 40%. So he's done a fair amount more than me when you think about it, and like, hats off to him, he's a trooper. But I don't know how quickly I want to do that again. Just not a big drinker. I never went out like clubbing or anything like that when I was younger, or going out and just getting absolutely shit-faced, because I didn't see much of a point of not remembering the night out. I feel like you should be able to have a good time without having alcohol involved. But I also, watching back that video, I feel like I laughed more than I ever have in any YouTube video before, which I feel like some people also notice. It's like, oh, it's nice to hear Lynn's funny laugh at something. So yeah, maybe it's not so bad after all. We'll see. Maybe I can. It opens the door to a lot of different things, but a lot of them would involve a face cam, which part of me wants to just say, you know what, rip off the band-aid, just do a face cam now. And part of me does want to stay to what I've said about waiting until 100k subs to do it. I imagine how like fun it would be doing a video, for example, of going into public lobbies, or maybe inviting people to a lobby where they're trying to take me out, and it's every time I crash, I take a shot, something like that. And I just imagine the riding would get worse and worse, and it would just be funny trying to dodge people. Just some of them ideas that really do work best with a face cam. You can even go down. Well, we can rewind the clock. We can go back to like the year 2018 or whatever, and just do like pepper challenges and or hot sauce challenges. Every time you crash, you take a dab of hot sauce, etc. It opens up a lot of different opportunities. So it's something that is on my mind, because I still, to this day, on not every video, but almost every video, get comments about, oh, when you're going to do face cam, blah blah blah. And I feel like I'm always approaching it with the mentality of, when the growth of the channel starts dying, that's when I feel like I would do it, if that happens before 100k. 100k is a hell of a lot, especially for a motocross community. You know, I don't know how many years it took Kellen and the Start Your System channel to get that far. They'd been at it for a very, very long time. He got it recently, which is really good to see. I know Wyndham's been at it for, I think, a longer time than Kellen has, and he's up at like 140, 150. It's been a while since I've checked. And some people that have been doing it for quite a number of years, they don't get there. And I'm hoping that the growth continues. If you've noticed me complaining a lot recently in videos or live streams particularly about the game's physics and like the lack of updates and stuff, please do understand that it comes from a very biased side of things, where I'm very, very dependent on this game's success. You know, I enjoy playing other games here and there, by all means, and I've tried in the past. We've uploaded things that are non-motocross related, and you have to understand that this is also my job for the time being, so I need videos to do well to eat, really. I need them to do well, I need the views to go well, so I'm more than happy playing all these other games on streams or trying to make videos for them, but I don't want them to kind of like take up a day's video, if that makes sense, when they're not going to perform particularly well, because there's always going to be that like smaller part of the community that would watch anything that I put up on the channel because they're here for me, but there's quite a large amount of people that are here because they like motocross, they like MX bikes, they might watch because I'm like decent at the game, but I'm quite fast at the games that I play. Maybe not so much sim, but definitely on bikes. I've put myself up there without trying to toot my own horn. So I'm always scared about trying to venture out too much, which is why I want this game to be updated. I want all the bugs to be fixed. I want us to be getting the best tracks possible for all of the the pro races, and I just think that would all contribute towards more game growth, more viewers coming to the channel, and just know that it's all stemmed from possible bias, but at the same time because I care and I want the game to succeed at the same time. So I do apologise if I come across as a grumpy old man sometimes, but I have my reasons. I don't try and hide it. I don't try and be anything that I'm not. I'm literally a normal guy playing games just like you, which is why sometimes if you see me on streams, if I'm having a moan or I'm complaining or maybe I've crashed and I start swearing or complaining about it, it's very hard to just not be myself, and I feel like that's why a lot of people still stick around on the channel as well, is because I am just me. I just play the games as I always will, talk how I usually would. I mean, I try and keep the swearing to a minimum sometimes, just because, you know, monetization is a great thing. But outside that, I usually say what I want, act how I would in person anyway, and I hope you guys can appreciate that and you stick around because of it. I have to sit down every now and then and kind of take a step back because I'm so number focused, and I'm like, well, maybe this video didn't do quite as well as I would have wanted, etc. Maybe I've had a video that's a 10 rather than a 1. 10 is like the worst you can get on YouTube, by the way. Out of your last 10 videos, maybe it performs the worst. If I get a 10, I need to sit back and say, you know what, there used to be a time where this amount of views used to be incredible to me, so, and I really have to take it with like a grain of salt and realise that we have come a long way, and we still have a long way to go, and I'm very excited for it. One thing that I didn't know, you know, I've kind of got this whole 100k thing in my mind because I actually really want like a YouTube play button. I think that would be really, really cool. But something that I wasn't aware of is you also get like it's like almost like a verification on your name. So if I was to go into someone else's live stream chat and leave a comment, my name would appear differently to standard. It has like a grey box around it, and it's got a little tick, which I think is really, really cool. So again, more incentive for me to keep going and just keep doing what I'm doing. And there's going to be some times here and there, maybe I miss a day, but I feel like I've been really good in terms of consistency. So for all of you boys out there that say, like, should you make a channel, what should you do videos on, etc., it doesn't matter what you do them on, as long as you do them consistently, because people will love that. Like, there'll always be a day where I don't post here and there. I plan on hopefully going on vacation for a week or so later in the year. I will try my very best to pre-record so I have most days covered. But it's definitely a difficult thing trying to think of something unique every single time. You know, I definitely have some days where I sit there, I'm like, oh god, what's released today? Like, I have a look on MXB Mods, nothing. Have a look on MX Bike Shop, nothing. Go on the sim forums, nothing. And then I'm like, oh Jesus, I need to try and be a bit imaginative here and creative and try and think of something new. And creative block is definitely a thing. I mean, if any of you out there are on the creative side, if you maybe do art, if you are a writer, maybe you understand we all get that mental block every now and then. But I certainly do try my best, and you guys are really good at suggesting ideas as well. And I do have an entire video suggestion part in my Discord server. If you haven't joined that, please do. Bunch of nice people. I'm starting to see the voice chats in there being more and more active as well. And we're at about, I think we're just over 4,000 members now. So that's like, how many of us are here? One in every, what's that, 10, 12, 13, yeah, about 1 in every 13 of you at the moment are part of that Discord. So yeah, feel free to join it, and I usually like at everyone in there when we're getting public lobbies going or doing something weird and wonderful. So if you're fed up of doing the standard Farm 14, Forest, like normal OEM bike races, then we'll switch it up every now and then. We'll get some factory bikes going, we'll get some pit bikes going, all weird and wonderful sorts of things. So definitely stop by and say hello, and it's a very helpful community. If you ever need help or you're stuck on installing things, there's lots of nice people who help each other out there, and I'm really proud of what we've built. I really, really am. So thank you everyone for all of the ongoing support. I do appreciate it. I've realised that I have just been 20 minutes, Jesus Christ, I've been recording for 19 minutes and 37 seconds. This is nuts. The bike feels pretty damn solid. It's not done anything unexpected. It doesn't like blow my doors off in terms of speed, so I feel like it's still at quite a realistic pace. And I think that the job that the 1110 mods guys are doing is really good. You know, it just adds a bit more variety into the game. We get some more fun bikes to mess around on. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a couple of series on the MyMXP website using these bikes specifically, like every now and then. I think it'd be quite cool, just mixing things up a bit as well. And I'm all for like more bikes being added into the game, more things for me to cover, more variety. There's the first kind of weirdish moment, and my very, very white tyres. I think 1110 mods team, you're doing a very good job. The bikes are really, really good fun. I still haven't tried the 250 since it was released. I need to have a look to see how different it was to what I originally tested like weeks ago. I'll get on that at some point. But I didn't expect a two-stroke to come out. It was kind of out of the blue for me. It's actually, I think it released during the Thunder Valley event while it was going on, so it flew under my radar for a day. But I'm glad that I'm here now and we get to try it out. It's definitely good fun. I do like the model. I know it's from Sim as well. I didn't check to see if we had any graphics for them actually, but you know what, stock 125, good enough for me. All round good bike, absolutely love them. I'd be lying if I said there wasn't any bias with me, because I have quite an old Yami 125. It was my first, let's call it big bike, going from an 85 up to a 125. I had a, well, I say I have. It's a 2008, I want to say, Yam 125. So yeah, really, really like them. Love my blue bikes. That'll do it from me. If you have enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd really, really appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you guys are up to. If you're from the UK, hope you enjoyed the weather over this weekend. If you're not from the UK, then I envy you for not being part of this country. That'll do it from me. I'll catch you boys next time. Peace.